The Gospel of the Lord.
Praise to you, Lord Jesus Christ.
Some friends of mine in Urbandale a couple years ago put their beautiful house on the market to sell. And before, I had seen it many times, but when you walk into their front foyer, there was an incredibly beautiful cross of Assisi, St. Francis's cross. And then in the den near the fireplace was this sculpture, Amri, of Jesus the Good Shepherd. And at the end of the hallway, there was kind of a cove, and there was a large painting of the Madonna and the child Jesus. After touring the house for the first time, their realtor told them they had to remove all that religious stuff because the realtor said it would offend some people who would come and look at their home. So my friends got a different realtor. And they sold the house in 3 days. How is Christ presented in your home? Maybe not a cross or a statue, but obviously a cross and a statue would reflect something about our faith. How is Christ presented in your house? You know, the young couple in today's gospel invited Jesus to their home, and they couldn't believe nothing would be the same for them. I don't think it was coincidental at all that the first miracle that Jesus performs in John's gospel is turning water into wine, a foreshadowing of the final miracle, turning wine into his blood at the Last Supper. I don't think it's a coincidence at all that his first miracle was at a wedding. You know, husbands and wives are to reflect Christ's presence. Maybe that's a new thing for husbands and wives to think about, that you present Christ's presence. And it's no coincidence for this first miracle to take place in the confines of a private home. You know, when you look at so many of Jesus' miracles, there are many that happened in specific homes. Peter invited Jesus to his home, and his mother-in-law was cured. Jairus, the synagogue official, was able to bring Jesus to his home to restore the life of his daughter. A leading Pharisee brought Jesus to his home to cure his servant. Zacchaeus, the cutthroat tax collector, welcomed Jesus into his home, and his life was completely changed. When we invite Jesus into our homes, I think miracles happen. When we invite Jesus into our marriages, I think miracles can happen. You know, I'm not sure the length of a wedding feast at the time in the Middle East when Jesus lived, but we do know that those festivals went on for many, many days. And for a party to run out of wine should have never happened. It was unexpected, and it happened. And then Jesus provides in abundance, at least 120 gallons of wine. That's abundance. You know, these days, wedding announcements often appear in newspapers like 3, 4, 5, and even 6 weeks after a particular wedding. I don't know if you've noticed that, but if you look at the papers and so-and-so got married and there's a picture and it happened 6, 8 weeks ago. A while ago, a friend of mine in Council Bluffs sent me a picture from the paper there of one of her grandnieces who was married in my former parish. And she had the article, and she underlined there were 12 men and 12 women as maids of honors and whatever. There was a junior bride and a junior groom, and there were 3 flower girls. And she underlined it all. I know exactly what she was saying. a little too much abundance. At any rate, she also wrote that the day after the article appeared in the Sunday paper, the bride filed for divorce. Infidelity of her husband. Do we invite Jesus into our homes? Do we invite Jesus into our marriages? Do we have any idea the abundance that can come from God? More than 120 gallons. Amen.